Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington. And today we're going to do something slightly different. We are going to talk about some of the hottest streaming apps out there available. And we're going to do that based on an article that was put out by Vulture magazine, or I should say Vulture. And they, this is something they do every year. I'm going to go to the article right now. So, the title is The Hottest Streamer Right Now. And they also talk about how it's not Netflix anymore. Let's just put it out there. It's not Netflix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this here, right?
Yeah.
It's not Netflix. Do you think that's like correct? That Netflix today is not the number one streaming app?
No. I believe Netflix is still number one because they have the majority of the content that everybody watches. Like I was reading a couple articles. I don't feel you got the link I sent you, but so they had there's another article that was talking about this stuff based on rankings from industry people, and I think this one the Vulture does it too.
Yeah,
they do talk about industry people and buzz or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like basic people watching regular stuff, because like the shows that got a lot of buzz, they're not the most popular. Every so often you get a Game of Thrones and you get a Breaking Bad type show that, it has buzz and water cooler talk. But just general eyes, just people watching something generally on TV, that's Netflix still. It's still Netflix by far, like by a large margin. And
well, is that largely due to Netflix having more subscribers though? Because, and the reason why I asked,
absolutely.
Yeah, because, lately, and I will admit this, and I said this to you before, lately, I haven't been seeing a lot of cool stuff to watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, they are starting to do a lot of reality TV shows, a lot of foreign flicks, a lot of like Indian flicks, a lot of Russian flicks, a boatload of French stuff. Swedish stuff all over the place. I mean, Korean stuff, I think they have like a 20 film deal or something with someone out there in Korea, and you would think that they would, put out more anime, but they really don't, right? So it's just like, where do you go for anime,
Step up their game in Japan. Well, I think Japan has, a lot of studios in Japan, they have deals with Crunchyroll and some other service. And I think that's why they bought it up early before all this stuff was going down. They didn't realize they needed it.
Crunchyroll bought like two of the other anime streaming services. So now Crunchyroll has 1,000 titles. 1,000 titles of anime.
Giant thing for anime, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but so like, outside of anime, I think that the eyes are still on Netflix just for in general. I think most people just have it. They may not watch it every day, but they still have it. And I think the reflex is, well, let me just go on Netflix and see what's on first. And then, if you have Disney Plus or you have Paramount or these other things, you go onto those things as well. But I think still the reflex for most people is to go to Netflix.
Now, see, that's interesting because Netflix has 222 million subscribers. But if we go down to Prime Video, they have 200 million, right?
Prime.
So you have
Prime is a lot too.
Yeah, 222 million versus 200 million. Now, if you are saying that, people just have it. Now, I think it's the opposite. I think people just have Amazon Prime because they want deliveries in 2 days, right?
100%. People have Amazon Prime and don't even know there's TV too.
Right.
100%.
Because my friend was asking me, he was like, I don't think I have Amazon Prime Video. I'm like, do you have Amazon? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you have Prime Video. That's like, that's a giveaway, right?
I think like Amazon may have more subscribers than anybody else, but they're dormant. That's why like the Lord of the Rings is such a big deal, because they're trying to utilize all the resources and everything they have on the platform. They have a lot of stuff on the platform, but no one's using it.
It's
and they don't have the TV show, the must-have TV show.
Yeah, Amazon. I go to Amazon every other day to see what's on Amazon Video. I don't see a lot of stuff. I see a lot of Russian stuff. I see a lot of their own original stuff that they don't put out enough of. They have these
Yes.
long, like,
Yes.
season, like droughts between seasons. It's just like, oh, okay, here and then another season, like a
Hmm.
year and a half, blah 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 blah. And it's just like
Yeah.
Amazon. You would think that the technology bandwidth that Amazon has, right? You would think that they would throw so much money at this. I mean, they just bought MGM, right?
Yeah, they buy MGM for
Yeah,
James Bond and all this other stuff. Yeah.
it's just like you have all this stuff right here. But it's kind of interesting. Let's go through this article really quickly. So again, they
Hmm.
have right now they have HBO Max as the number one streaming app, right?
Well, I think that this is based off potential and what they feel the trend is going. I think that's not
Right,
how you got to word it, because it's not number one by subscribers or content, whatever it is. They feel the future's going Warner Brothers, HBO Max, Discovery's way.
right.
It's a bunch of companies,
And I think
and
that's the case because okay, so HBO Max started in 2022. This is HBO
mhm.
had been out, but this is their
Yes.
streaming platform, HBO Max. 2022. That's 2 years, not even 2 years.
Hmm.
77 million subscribers. Now, what they talk about here is that and we said this before. HBO, man, they just make really good
They know what they're
shows.
doing. They
They
know
know
what they're
what they're
doing on
doing.
HBO.
They just
Yeah,
make really good shows. I mean, like, look at
yeah.
all the shows they talk about here.
Mhm.
Euphoria. Winning Time, Barry, The Staircase, The Flight Attendant was ridiculous. That's a dope show. And let's not forget all the
Mhm.
other stuff: The Sopranos, The Wire, just like Game of
Yeah,
Thrones,
they had
everything, right?
classic shows from
Yeah,
2000s or whatever.
Sex in the
Yeah.
City. I mean, like,
Mhm.
I mean, that was just like a banger right there. So,
Mhm.
um, they do have, and the other thing is HBO has a lot of industry power. They rank them number 8 in terms of industry power and 7 in terms of momentum, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I kind of believe that. I think that if HBO wanted to, like, just dethrone, like, Netflix, regardless of their subscribers, I'm talking about content, I think they can easily
Yeah.
do that because, Netflix, what they do is they just throw a lot of things at the wall, and that's when you get like
Mhm.
those one season shows. You're like, oh, I want to see this again, and it's like
Yeah.
it's one season.
That bothers me so much. There's a lot of
Yeah,
shows that I watch and I'm like, "Oh, it's just one season. All right, well, what's the point?" I don't even bother getting into it if I'm like, "Oh, they're not gonna continue it. It got canceled already. What's the point?" I think that Netflix's problem was that they threw too much money against the wall. They were doing everything instead of like when Netflix started doing TV shows. Was House of Cards was the first show, right?
and it was a
They got
killer.
David Fincher to do the first show. They were like, we gotta nail this. We're gonna make the best show on TV right now, and they did.
It
Well,
was a
for the
killer.
first half
Mhm.
of the show, and it kind
Yeah.
of fell off the rails. But like initially,
Mhm.
everybody was like, "Holy crap, Netflix is doing some fire right now," and they were doing quality shows. They got Stranger Things. They got a bunch of shows that was really strong, and then now it just looks like they're just throwing money at random people. Like any buffoon can to pitch a show to Netflix and get a budget for it. Like that's insane. You can't run a
It's
company like
crazy.
that.
We're gonna get to
And I,
Go ahead.
yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll
But
get
like
to Netflix in a minute,
as
but
far
you make a lot of
as far
sense
as
right there.
HBO, yeah,
Hmm.
HBO has quality shows.
All
They know
day.
how to do it, and they have quality movies. And Warner Brothers has a big long library, so like
Hmm.
they have content. And the same thing with Disney. I think that this is really going to come down to Disney and HBO Max trying to go at each other.
The next one, number 2, is Disney Plus. Now, here's the thing with Disney Plus. So,
Hmm.
basically, I'm not quite sure about Disney Plus because they have well, first of all, they have 138 million subscribers, right?
Hmm.
They just debuted this service in 2019 and they already have 138 million subscribers. Now, here's the
Disney
thing with go ahead.
Disney subscribers are fugazi, right? I'll tell you
Why?
why.
Hmm.
So I just changed my cell phone plan,
Hmm.
and they gave me 6 months free of Disney Plus. And I'm like, but Disney was giving subscribers away for 6 months and a year and stuff like that. for everything. You change your oil in your car, they're giving you 6 months of Disney Plus. So a lot of their subscribers are people that are checking it out, and it's been fluctuating. It's going up and down, but it's not growing as fast as it's supposed to, because a lot of the initial subscribers are the people that got a free thing for 6 months or whatever. And you know what this is? You remember AOL when they were sending out CDs everywhere?
Yeah.
This is Disney's model, is to give you a CD, the CD-ROM in your cereal box to get you on AOL Plus. This is what their model is.
Yeah.
And it's working, but it's expensive. And I don't know how long they can keep this going, especially if they're going to keep doing the Boba Fett shows and all that sort of stuff. I want to see that.
Moon Knight, the thing about, one of the points they make here is that, if you have kids, Disney Plus is great, right?
It is true for that, yes.
But 100%. What they're saying is we need to get beyond kids and start messing with adults. Let's put out some adult content. Because, obviously they have MCU and a whole bunch of other stuff, right?
Yeah, but they bought Fox just for this alone, and they closed the studio down.
Yeah.
They spent, what is it, $80 billion on Fox Studios? And then they just closed the studio down and fired everybody. They just wanted the catalog for Disney. They didn't think this through. Yeah. You need rated R and adult content. Not adult TV content, but I'm saying mature content that, blood, exactly. Cursing, mature content for adults. You need that.
But then you have like Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Loki, all this up. They have so much. But if you really think about Disney, right? MCU is sort of the same thing across their platform, right?
Yeah.
If you look at all the different franchises, it's sort of the same thing. I mean, it's just like
childish.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's just like we're gonna have the women in tight suits, and we're gonna have the guys, making like bathroom jokes and like flying around and doing stuff like that, So
yeah, it's juvenile humor for kids. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I think it's also pretty amazing that, this service came out in 2019, and they already have 138 million subscribers. Let's get to the third one, which is Netflix. Your favorite app. Now, Netflix debuted. What's up?
I like Netflix. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do like Netflix, and they have the best visual layout, the GUI out of everybody else.
Yeah,
like it's the nicest one, and I think they have patents on a lot of this stuff, so that's why everybody else's is terrible. I think Disney's probably second. Amazon's is the worst one.
Forget about Amazon.
Next to HBO Max. They're just the worst layout.
Peacock may be the worst though. Peacock is horrible.
You think so?
Dude. Oh my goodness!
I haven't seen it. We don't have it up here.
You don't want it, dude. Yeah. You don't want it. Don't even get it. Listen. They have a free version. You don't even have to like sign up. Provide a credit card or anything like that. And it's horrible. It's completely horrible. But the UI UX with Netflix is pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
It's their fault for it. Everything's terrible.
Yeah, but the thing that Netflix does not have, what I really like about HBO Max and also Disney Plus, HBO Max and Paramount Plus, is they have and also Apple TV, they have these companion-like videos that go along with each episode of something you're watching or a movie, companion podcast, Those things are so helpful to get you through how, understanding what you're watching and why some of these things are occurring, So I'm just like, okay, that's pretty cool. Netflix doesn't have that. Netflix also, and someone makes a really good point here, momentum, they gave them 1 because Netflix is actually backing down off of, they're losing subs. They're like losing market value, the whole 9. And someone said, I wonder why they didn't like feed us Stranger Things weekly, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they're going to switch over to the weekly model to keep subscribers because they have big shows coming up, and they're going to. They
said they were, but they are not.
Yeah. Well, they're making another Squid Games. That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
There's some more movies and stuff that's coming out soon that's going to be big for Netflix, but the way you binge it for a month and then cancel, that's what everyone's doing. The Disney Plus right now, they're getting it for the month. Binging it, canceling it,
watching Boba Fett for 2 months, right?
They're getting stagnant because the canceling thing is so high right now, it's canceling out all the people. It's a double entendre, but it's canceling out all the new subscribers that are coming into the channel, and so you're getting stuck. Let's go to number 4, which is Apple TV.
Okay, Apple TV. Okay, Apple TV, dude. Okay, so they came out 2019, have 40 million subs, 40 million plus
Mm-hmm.
subs. And I'm going to tell you this, right? I think out of all of the streaming services,
Mm-hmm.
personally, me, I like Apple TV the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like Apple TV because the UI, UX, the GUI, the whole nine, dude, no one's
Yeah, right.
touching them.
Apple
No
knows what
one's
they're
touching them.
doing.
And then this is, so I'm talking about two things. One, I'm talking about if you have Roku or some other sort of like over the top device and you download
Mm-hmm.
the Apple TV app, that's fine. That's also a sick experience. I have the Apple TV device. That's a
Yeah, it's
totally,
gonna be way better.
that is
It's
totally
gonna
different.
it's always way better. Apple knows what they're doing. They make you get their stuff. They
And,
know our version is gonna be better with our things.
right. And Steve Jobs, he was like, he always wanted to be a Hollywood person, Pixar, just think about
Yeah,
that,
he did. Yeah, he did.
he
Wanted to get
always
into
wanted
it.
to be, and like Tim Cook is just extending that. And I think Apple
Mhm.
TV, some of the programs that they are producing are just so incredibly ridiculously dope. And just like
Mhm.
the camera and everything else, I was reading something where they were saying like, Apple TV has Friday Night Baseball now. How they, with the camera action that they have, it's totally
Mhm.
different. It's almost like a video game experience, and I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, okay. And let's not forget we watch Foundation, I watch Invasion,
Yeah,
all this other
there's good
stuff.
shows on Apple
It's
TV
good
for
shows,
sure.
So
Yeah, and I would say this: it's the kind of shows that I would like to watch,
yeah,
like the sci-fi kind of stuff that I would watch.
right,
So
exactly,
that's a plus for me. But they don't. I don't think that they're more focused on a particular type of show,
yeah,
whereas a lot of other things are like, well, we're gonna have Korean TV shows, we have action shows from India, we have action
mm-mm,
whatever. Like a lot of other people they're just scooping up content, and Apple's trying to get their thing more focused for the type of people who would buy Apple stuff anyway. So
right,
it is
exactly.
catered to you for sure.
So let's get to the next one. And again, just remember that Apple TV Plus debuted in 2019 and they have 40 million plus subscribers. The next is
That is pretty
Hulu.
good.
Hulu
Yeah.
has been out since 2017 and they have 46 million subscribers. Again, Apple TV 2019,
Mhm.
40 million subscribers. Hulu 2007, 46 million.
Yeah, Hulu was a connection between a bunch of TV channels because they were working on competing with Netflix, but they had the free version. Then they said, okay, we're gonna make you pay for it now. Then we're gonna start making movies and TV shows, and we're gonna do a bunch of other stuff because they have what was it, The Handmaid's Tale is on Hulu,
Oh, yeah, that's
and
like,
uh,
mhm,
yeah, there's a couple big shows on there. Um, I don't mind Hulu. Hulu's decent. Like there's stuff on there that you can watch. I think that too right now that there's just so much content. So like it's more so about trying to seize your mind share versus making something good. Like that the good part is it's a bonus, it's on top, but you want people thinking about your app, thinking about your content, thinking about your shows, whatever. And so I think the real battle is online with, people making skits about your show, or like people making videos like we're doing right now about your movie or TV show, whatever. Like that's the real battle, is getting people to do this to get more eyes on you, and get the mind space, because Netflix control that. Like the whole thing of just going online, like I would say it's almost like the Xerox level, or Kleenex, or Google, when we're talking about a word that means watching stuff online. Netflix is almost at that level, and they've lost it now. And so like the this is the real battle, is the mind share for people, like what they think about what online watching is. uh,
yeah.
Hulu, they have the ability to do it, but I think Hulu needs to merge with somebody, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's owned by ABC, so I mean, like,
Yeah,
they
Disney
have
should just scoop it up and
ABC
be
has, I
good.
mean, you get the bundle deal. You get Hulu, you get a ESPN Plus. They should spin that off, and you also get Disney, right?
Hmm.
So they
Hmm.
have Disney. They own Disney, dude. So it's just like, but they've been out since what is it, 2007, 46 million subs. They are getting better with the original shows. I'm not quite sure why they brought over the Kardashians. I've never seen a
Yeah, well,
Kardashian show, but I'm just like,
there's people
when
who
are the
watch that
Kardashians
stuff.
going to be gone, right? And
There's actually people who watch this stuff.
yeah, exactly. And then you have like the Wu-Tang, series as
Yeah,
well.
they had the show. Yeah.
They came back for a second season. They're doing pretty good. So number 6
Right.
is your favorite streaming service, and that would be
Prime Video.
That would be Prime Video.
See, here's the thing. Because I'm in Canada, we don't have a couple of these services. Like Paramount Plus isn't up here, Peacock isn't up here, Hulu isn't up here. But so Amazon, Netflix, and I forgot what the other services. There's another thing called Crave, and they scoop up a lot of the shows and movies that will be on these other platforms. So like Paramount Plus stuff is on Prime Video for me.
Mhm.
So like I'm gonna watch, I have to watch Prime because of it.
Did you have to pay
Yellowstone's
extra
on
for
there.
it if you wanted to watch
No,
something
it's part of it. It's part of the
Okay.
service because they have the deals for content.
different
And
licensing deals? Okay.
yeah, it's the different licensing deals, and so
Mhm.
whatever is up here, they just scoop up the stuff on that way. So like for some of these things, I can't even get the full experience unless I'm in America or whatever, and I'm like, okay, this is what it's really like. And yeah, it's a mess because and it's like this for a lot of countries around the world. They don't have the licensing thing for the services or whatever. That's why Netflix is still in the best position because they're everywhere, they're in every country, and they control everything that's on their platform. Because it's all original stuff.
Right here in the Critical Buzz section, they giving us a 3. They said, I can name at least 3 Apple TV series I've loved over the last few months. I can't say that for Prime Video. Dude.
I mean,
So
I watched The Expanse. That was it.
see, that's what I mean. They went like 6 episodes, and it's just like, hey, The Expanse was like pretty bananas. I think
Mhm.
Prime Video, I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but the user interface, the UI UX is horrible. I mean,
I
it's not
think Jeff
intelligent at
Bezos
all.
forgot he has it. To be honest, I think he forgot it. And like, oh my god, we want a Game of Thrones type show. Where can we put it? I don't know. Prime, I guess. I
It's
think
this.
he completely forgot his. This is the most powerful, most. It has the most subscribers. It has the most resources and underdeveloped platform out of everything.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
it's almost like Costco selling gas. They don't make money on gas, right? But they
Yeah,
know
they were doing it for fun.
you need the card to get the gas, and then while you're there, you're going to go into Costco and buy some things, and everything's going to
Yeah,
be
like
fine.
while I'm here, I'll fill
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that's what
So
it's for. Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing is what all the analysts and everyone is saying is like Amazon is betting on Lord of the Rings. This joint better be off the chain.
Let me tell you something right now.
Uh-oh.
Lord of the Rings fans are not happy with what's going on with this show. This thing is gonna crash and burn. You can quote me right now.
Really?
Lord of the Rings is gonna lose them billions of dollars.
Oh my
This
goodness.
thing is gonna be a turd.
I mean, but wait a minute.
I'm
You've just seen trailers. You haven't seen anything like concrete, right?
I've just seen the trailers, and I can tell you right now I'm subscribed to a bunch of people that watch. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, right? I did watched all the movies and stuff like that, and so I'm subscribed to some people like that in the know from how the show is being made, the behind the scenes stuff, and they're like, I don't know, this is not good.
You can't.
This is not good.
I'm not
Yeah, I
even
think
gonna
that actual fans of Lord of the Rings are going to be mad when they see this show. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not even going to front. I've never seen a Lord of the Rings movie ever.
You gotta,
right?
however, watch Lord of the Rings.
However,
watch it.
I've seen little bits and pieces of them, and I'm like, these are big production movies, right?
It's a cultural icon of a thing like this. They got the thing written in thousands of books in different languages. Like it's huge.
So
it's
that's
one
what
of
I'm
the biggest books
saying.
in
Like
the world.
Exactly. So a show like this, Lord of the Rings, you cannot screw this up on any level at all.
I'm
all.
telling you, man, fans are mad.
We're gonna see what's up.
They're outraged. Like, how dare you do this to our show?
But I wouldn't put like Amazon 6. I would probably put Amazon in last place. The seventh is Paramount. And here's the cool thing about Paramount. Debuted in
Mhm.
2021. Dude, they already have 40 million subscribers already. Less than a
That's
year.
impressive.
That's
That is
impressive.
impressive, actually.
Now, I have Paramount Plus and I get that through the Apple TV
Mhm.
app because the experience is dope, right?
Mhm.
Um, and you know what? I mean, I know Disney has like Star Wars. Um,
Yeah.
Paramount has Star Trek. Um, and
Mhm.
dude, like Discovery was bang bang. Picard,
Mhm.
if you're into
Yeah,
that, right? I don't know,
he's
right?
kind of old, but yeah, yeah.
I don't know,
I
right?
feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, and
I heard Strange New Worlds is nice. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet,
Strange
but I
New
heard it's
Worlds
good.
is off the chain. And,
Mhm.
they have a lot of content and they also have a lot of Hollywood power as well. Remember, this is Viacom for the most part, CBS Viacom. So they do
Yeah.
stuff like this. Paramount has made big budget movies, they've been in Hollywood forever, right?
This is Tom Cruise's studio, man. So the
Yeah.
Paramount's got content.
Yeah, they've got
I can
content,
see
dude.
why it's grown this much so fast. Like I can see why. There's good stuff on there. Outside Transformers, like they have Mission Impossible. They have a bunch of Tom
Yeah,
Cruise things in there. Yeah,
that's true.
it's good.
Last but not least, and I don't even know why we're talking about this, is Peacock. Because
So this is
Peacock is
NBC.
this is NBC. So they show, if you have just the free version, you get like the reality TV shows every Thursday, the Thursday
Okay.
after they air. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they gave them a total score of 7. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you would think that NBC Universal has like power. This is NBC Universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
You would
dude,
think
this
so.
this app, the technology, the UI UX, dude, it sucks big time. Don't even waste your time on
Wow.
this. I
Wow,
mean,
that's surprising.
and
That
then
is
they have
surprising.
like the whole like, the gimme gimme where they basically say, "Hey, here's something you can watch. However, if you want to watch this is premium content. You got to pay us $4.99 or nine ninety
That's not
nine.
gonna work. That's
So
not gonna
this is
work.
the worst. So it's not. I don't even know why Peacock is on here. I probably would put something like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, Roku Live TV, which is pretty good. They have a pretty huge anime,
Mm-hmm.
library, the whole nine. I don't know, but just judging from this list, so we
Mm-hmm.
have all of these here. We have number one on this list here, HBO. We have Disney Plus, Netflix. We have Apple TV, Hulu, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and Peacock. How would you order those?
Um, I would still put Netflix as number one
Mm-hmm.
because I think for me, that's still my go-to for number one. I would add Disney Plus probably second, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would put HBO Max, and then well, Amazon would be near the bottom, but I have to watch it because I don't have Paramount Plus, so like there's stuff on there I need to see.
So you have to deal with the
I
UI
definitely,
UX.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, because I would put Apple up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as like, because this is not as far as subscribers or how big they are, whatever. This
Right.
is potential,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, Netflix can turn it around. It's not like they're not in position to turn around. You just need good content.
Yeah.
They've been wasting their time on crappy shows nobody cares about. Like if you stop doing that, your problem solved. That's really it. Like Netflix could easily turn this around. I know it's like a Titanic right now, and everyone's cheering, but people are still paying for Netflix, and it's a lot of people still on Netflix that use it daily. So it's still champ. Like it maybe it's bruised a little bit, but it's still champ. I would have Disney second because the kids. Kids is a huge factor.
Yeah.
It's the reason why Nintendo stomps everybody every year still, because they make games to cater for kids, and so like you have to focus on that. You have to, because people are like, my kids are crying right now. What can I do? Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Like that's just the thing, right? So like
Yeah.
they're gonna capitalize on that. But for Disney to get any bigger and take over, they have to start doing mature content. We talked about it earlier, and they're adverse to it. Like they're allergic to it. They don't want to do it. And I think that's a terrible strategy. And I think they're gonna be stuck in this position if they don't do it. HBO Max and Apple TV, they have the best bright side of all of this stuff because there's no expectations for them. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
Whatever they say is a win is a win.
exactly.
Disney spent a fortune getting to where they are right now.
Yes.
Whereas HBO Max fell on their face when they came out the gate. They changed the app like 3 times, and they changed the names. They did a bunch of stuff. They did different mergers,
Yeah.
and then they just merged with this Discovery just now. Sky's the limit. For whatever they say, the win is a win. And same with Apple TV, because Apple TV's niche anyway, and whatever they say is a win is like they everyone has the iPhones and laptops, whatever. They just throw it on there, it's done. Like they're gonna get their share regardless. So like I think they really have to be fearful of what Apple can do. Is
Yeah.
we all saw iTunes take over
Yeah.
and your iPhone or whatever. If Apple feels like crushing people, they can. They have the money, the resources, and the power to do
That's true. I mean, they're already
So,
crushing
yeah.
Facebook with the whole "don't track me."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they told Facebook to kick rocks, and Facebook's like, "Damn it, all right." So I'm saying, like, if Apple really, if they're serious about this,
They own
they
the
can do some
rails.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do damage. So everybody should be very concerned about it. What do you take? What's your order for this?
Okay, so I'm going to go. My number one is going to be tied. I'm going to go HBO Max and Apple TV if we're talking about potential, right?
Yeah, this is strictly on potential.
Right, on potential. Because let's just take this analogy really quickly. So let's take Tesla's cars, right? So first of all, Tesla wasn't the first to the market. I mean, the Nissan Leaf was when it comes to electric cars.
Yeah.
You know, the federal government gave Elon Musk a boatload of money. Then he came out with Tesla, right? Design hasn't changed, right? And Tesla was killing it for years. No one else was doing anything. But you know what? The market caught up to him, right? So you have to really think about this, right? If he's the richest man in the world and everyone's like, hey, you know, this is a status symbol. Now all the other car companies, some of them making even better luxurious cars, right? So the writing's on a wall for Tesla. Like those cars like are going to be at the bottom like in a very short period of time. I think the same for companies like Netflix is you're going to lose market share because what you did was you basically put out the blueprint. You said, hey, this is how you do things. However, these companies that have been in Hollywood, they understand that, you know what? Let's give them like a show on a weekly basis. Let's not give them the entire like 8 episodes of let's not give them season 1 up front. They understand all this, you know. Peacock understands that. This is like NBC. They understand that. Let's like feed them weekly. You know, for Netflix to say, hey, I'm going to give you like Stranger Things all up front. I mean, like, dude, this is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm going to go number 2. Number 1 for me is HBO and Apple TV. I think Apple TV has a lot of upside because they just make really good content and thoughtful content. They don't just throw stuff up on a wall and say, hey, I'm going to give you this. Now, number 2 for me, and again, number 1 is a tie between HBO Max and Apple TV. Number 2 for me is Paramount Plus. I like Paramount Plus because they also put out thoughtful content, right? They don't just throw anything up there, you know, the Squid Games and like all of these weird shows just because, you know, they have money and they can do this. They think about this stuff, right? And they put out really good content. I don't know about Picard, but you know, they put out really great stuff. Third for me would be I'm going to go with Disney Plus. I do like Disney Plus. I think what Disney Plus has to do is they have to expand outside of MCU, right?
Yes,
Because
severely lacking.
Right, because MCU can only do but so much for them. They need, because even if they come out with more, I understand that what they're going to do is they're going to come out with newer, you know, comic book, you know, characters. And it's just like, but they're going to be doing the same thing.
All their TV shows right now is Star Wars and MCU, and that is a recipe for disaster.
That's it. Yeah.
The original content that's not connected to this crap.
Yeah, and I think with the rest of them, like Peacock for me is like down, like it's just not even on this list. But I'm gonna put Netflix last, and I'm gonna put Prime Video like right after Disney Plus. Yeah, because you know it's there. You know they have they actually have the potential to do a lot better because they already have the subs. I mean, they also own the rails when it comes to like just Amazon, as a platform to buy things. So they have
Yeah.
all that. It's the second or third largest search engine. I don't understand why they don't focus a bit more on Prime Video. I don't understand. But
This is a mystery to me why they don't spend more time fixing this thing and making it better.
it's crazy, man.
I think they're gonna use the Lord of the Rings show to turn the corner with this, but they got a lot of work to do.
It's
They
crazy,
have to fix
man.
that app. They need to start producing more content.
The
There's
app,
more
man.
shows.
I don't
The app
understand
is
how
brutal.
I don't understand how Amazon. That's like saying,
Mhm.
I don't understand how Amazon, a technology company, a logistics company, do not understand the technology of an app. Do not understand the technology of
It
UI
blows my mind.
UX. It blows my
It
mind
blows my
completely.
mind. Yeah, man.
Well, tell us what you think about which app or which streaming service you think has potential, or which one is number one in your eyes. Like we just gave our ratings.
Mhm.
And we're going to be doing a lot more of these sort of videos because they're kind of interesting and it just, covers a little
Yeah,
bit
it's
of the
fun to
industry
cover the
news.
industry and other
Yeah,
stuff besides the TV shows and the movies. Like just the
exactly.
behind the scenes stuff is also interesting too. So
Right. We gotta figure out a name for this series, but
yeah, yeah, we'll
but
think it. We'll
we'll
get back
think
to you on
about it.
that.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.